Well, I call her wild Christian because her Christianity was wild. She was on such terms with the supreme deity, whom she called Papa God. And I grew up in a Christian household, and she was a petty trader. But one thing she never joked with was her Christianity. She was also an evangelist, if you like. On certain days, they would all go out and try and convert the market women and the traders, go to the markets, the Bible. And I used to follow them around. I had no choice. And I used to feel so sorry for these people when my mother at the head, they roll down the holy God gospel on their heads, and I used to watch this. In the market, especially the traditional part of the market, we had all the various the herbs and so on, which were considered, of course, pagan, even traditional healing. But at the same time, you had dried squirrels, maybe, or dried rodents, or bats, or whatever. So you had, different kind of things, and they would home in that very section of the market, which I found the most colorful, the most interesting. I was a disaster as a Christian from childhood, even though I was a chorister. I had to go there. I enjoyed singing in church, but I don't think I ever really was, I think the holy water at baptism somehow was polluted when it came to my. But she was very conscientious in terms of upbringing. She also wielded a good cane. But more than that, we were terrified of my father. He was a cooler, calmer person, but his discipline was worse. And he was also a great lover of cottons and flowers and roses and so on. And I loved helping him tend all those things. So she was great. And she was the lieutenant of Mrs. Kuti, the mother of Fela, when Mrs. Kuti, nickname was Bere, when she led the women, and they succeeded in toppling the Alake of Abeokuta. And since I was very small, they used me as courier between the women when they laid siege to the palace, demanding the abdication of the. I enjoyed it enormously. I think that aspect of conflict is something which appealed to me. But my mother was right in the middle of it.
You also have a real deep connection to Yoruba gods and the tradition of.
Yes, again, from childhood, I was more attracted to the traditional deities. That was possibly due to the influence of my grandfather on the father's side, who was a traditionalist. Before the poor man was converted to Christianity, he just couldn't stand the onslaught any longer, and he gave up his Yoruba name and became Josiah. Yeah, I think that was the name they gave him. But that really, his belief, his worldview, and so on, resonated with me right from childhood.
Thank God.
My sort of guardian companion deity, because I'm not really a worshipper. I don't worship any deities, but my companion avatar, if you like, or demiurge, is Ogun. Has always been the god of iron, of metallurgy in general, of poetry. A contradiction also, like I am, a lover of solitude, and at the same time, constantly on the active side. Let's put it that way.